that you're still trying to get people to see you at a cost. So when that came to an end, that this is not the dynamics of what I seen back in the day, you stay together regardless of what I grew up with, that was a painful moment, and it started a journey of me having to learn how to detach from things.
Wow, and that's important, learning how to detach. Hello, caller, you're on the air. It's your turn.
Hi, I'm calling in. My name is Gwen, and Dr. Van indicated that she's going to be on the radio, and I'm very interested in the conversation. And
hey, Gwen, turn your mouth a little bit closer to the phone. I hear your voice kind of go in and out, and I want to hear you.
I had turned the speakerphone.
Yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to call in to comment on Sticks and Stones and mother and daughter relationships. I am a mother, and my daughter often tells me I don't recognize her boundaries. My daughter is 41, and we have a very close relationship. She's oftentimes told me that I'm her best friend, but I feel that I'm walking on eggs sometimes with her. She shares very things with me, some of which could be very intimate, but she expects me to listen and not really respond, because when I do, she calls me, and I'm going to put this in quotes, with no suggestive things I want to say against any religious group. She calls me her Jewish mom because I'm always in her business. And I tell her, I said, well, then you're my true daughter, because you never answer the question. So why do you call me your best friend if you really want to treat me as your mom?
Let me ask Dr. Fortman something real quick. Dr. Fortman, that's interesting. Her daughter asked for her, shares information with her, and she feels like she's walking on eggshells to respond. What's going on with that dynamic?
Okay, because I couldn't hear her.
Okay, she was just saying that her daughter calls her her best friend, but when she shares things with her, she feels like she's walking on eggshells, because when she responds, she doesn't want her opinion. So why is she sharing?
Well, now that was a question that I had to ask a couple of women who really, these issues are not uncommon, said the same thing about their daughter sharing. The thing is, no, your daughter does not want to know your opinion. All she wants to do is share. You don't, even though as a mom, you want to give advice, unless she specifically asks you for that advice on whatever it is she's talking about, just listen. And if you have to bite the inside of your lip, bite the inside of your lip. Because as soon as you offer advice that she did not ask for, or if she asks for advice and you use the word should, well, you should do this or you should do that, that particular word is the word where they just right away shut it down. They will shut it down, because then in their minds you are not giving them advice, you are telling them what to do.
Wow.
Is when she's sharing with you, and if she asks for advice, what you do, parry back what she says, and then say, well, have you, even if you have advice, say, well, what do you think you should do?
Did you hear her, Gail? Was it Gail?
Of this, but there's just a way that you have to do it. Well, that's why you feel like, I'm assuming, that's why you feel like you're walking on eggshells, is because when you give advice, she doesn't take it.
Okay, hold, Dr. Fortman. Was it Gail or Peggy? I'm trying to remember the name. Gwen. Neither one. Big fail. Okay, Gwen. I noticed that Dr. Fortman is using one of the tools that is a very good one to ask questions rather than to provide answers. Are you asking her, you're sharing this with me, do you want my opinion? Are you asking her questions when she's talking?
Yeah, because I try, but I do hear what Dr. Fortman is saying, because I do use the word should. And for that, I feel like I've learned a lesson, because that's my vocabulary. But she's beginning to make me feel like the same that women have with their husbands. I'm only talking to you, I don't want your advice. Because when we tell our men stuff, we really don't want their advice, we just want a sounding board. So I just probably need to just be a sounding board, which is difficult being a mother, because you want to help, but I will eliminate the word should.
Absolutely. Eliminate the word should. Peggy, thank you for your call. All right, well, that's really important. We got a little bit less than 10 minutes left. There's still a phone line open for you, 615-242-7760. I'm going to ask the callers to give me this. What is something that your mother said to you way back when you were younger that you've never forgotten? And I'm just wondering how things stick. And Tracey, I'm going to come back to you real quick before we let you go. Your book, My Love Affairs with Love. I want you talk about your love affair with love, with acceptance, pain, joy. Why the pain chapter?
Pain and peace go, to me, this is my opinion, they go together. That's like negative and positive. So the book is My Love Affairs with Love, Finding the Peace of the Pain. Finding the peace of the pain is an ongoing journey. So you have to talk about the pain. I really want to be the person that hasn't had to have that on their journey, but it was part of mine. It went coincided together. I had some painful things happen on the journey. I experienced some painful moments, and you got to go through it for some of us, unfortunately, to get to your peace. And getting there is how can I say it? That's a choice. I wanted to find the peace in the pain. I'm not a person that likes playing victim or to sulk in victimization too long. That's stagnation, and that's no growth.
What was the most painful lesson that you learned that might benefit someone else?
That everybody, and we're talking about soundboard, everybody is not a great soundboard. Everybody is not your friend. Every man is not the one.
Now that's a lesson that the late Reverend Georgia Moody shared with me. It sounded like a crazy statement when she said it, but it stuck. She said, you gotta know you gotta know when to tell what to who. That's what she said. You gotta know when to tell what to who. It's gotta be the right time to tell it to the person. It's gotta be the right person. And then after all of that, you gotta know what you can tell them, because some things cannot be shared with certain people. They don't know how to handle it or how to respond to it.
You have to, so I had to, getting ready to be 51, it's an ongoing thing to weave out. It's a weaving and cleaning out process. Don't ever kick yourself, whoever's listening, that you gave something. And something hit my spirit to say this. Sometimes when we seek soundboard, we're really seeking a human journal, writing or giving it to somebody. You really sometimes have the answer. You just need that sounding board to sound your way, to talk your way through it and out it. So you really just need that human person to get through it, to get it out like paper. And you just, unfortunately, everybody's not with that. They're really taking down notes, and they're regurgitating, most likely to other people, most likely to their judgment, most likely to their opinion. So in that, the painful part was finding out what was best for me. And then I found out I became my own best friend. I picked up the paper and pen. I narrowed it down to a good 2-3 sister friends that I can talk to. I wrote a note to the Most High and said, give me some quality people to talk to, not quantity. That's where we fail ourselves. We talk to too many people. Too many people give too many opinions. So I had to grow up and narrow it down, enough people that really fit in a Ziploc bag of sharing, because we tend to think, this is the views, this is what we get with our mothers and everybody else. we tend to get too many views about our situation. You got to remember something. You, at the end of the day, really, you know about your situation.
Exactly. Okay, exactly. Tell us where, one more time before we let you go, where we can get your book or connect with you.
Connect on Amazon or go to my website, www.Tracey, Tracys, Knox, Knox, like Fortnite.com. Come on Facebook. Friend request me on Facebook, Tracey Knox, Instagram. Connect with me. I have other things going on surrounding whoever's out there that got that keep me on the throne. I'm trying to get myself out here. I want to help some people get free. I want you to...
Absolutely. All right. All right. Tracey, thank you so much for sharing with us. We'll be in touch with you this evening about some other things. All right. That was Tracey Knox, her book, My Love Affair with Love, and she had a lot of interesting things to share. Dr. Janice Hooker Fortman is still with us, and she works with a lot of women when it relates to your personal and professional communication, especially with mothers and daughters. Dr. Fortman, I as I mentioned through the domestic violence conference where I was a speaker, there was a woman who shared her story of being abused through her entire life. So her mother's words, her mother's complaints about her, criticisms about her, they all affected her. And she said, I craved my mother's love. And we talked about this when we started out, of how your mother, that one person is supposed to love you. What happens to the adult when that doesn't happen early on? Can those relationships be healed? Can that person be healed, or are they, just damaged with that forever?
No, they're not damaged forever. It takes therapy. It takes coaching, which is something that I do with mothers and daughters, adult mothers and daughters. It takes a lot of introspection. It also takes a lot of openness, and it takes a lot of willingness for the mother and the daughters to repair their relationship.
What are the risks? What are the risks, though, when these people house this pain and animosity and anger and bitterness and rejection inside them, and they don't seek counseling? What are the risks?
The risks are this affects their future relationships. This would affect, their personal relationships, as far as, let's say, for an example, they want to get married, but they can't really be open. They can't really be vulnerable because they've been hurt so badly. It affects, if they have children, it affects the way they would treat their children. In that generational, I know you've seen that, and I'm sure you saw it at the conference where you were in, where it's generational. They were abused, so they're abusing their children because that's all they know. In their professional relationships, the inability to really relate to someone on an authentic level, it unfortunately, it affects everything. It goes from something that's not so serious and that maybe, for some reason you just can't really open up, to people who become criminals, women who...
So it's a monster. It's a monster that just grows and grows and grows and grows if it's not dealt with. We are not out of questions. I have thoroughly enjoyed talking with you, Tracey Knox, and of course with you, Dr. Fortman. I have thoroughly enjoyed this. Of course, we're not out of conversation, but we're out of time. All right, and make sure you get that. Thank you, Dr. Fortman. Wow, that was awesome. I want you to make sure you tune in on tomorrow, because tomorrow we're actually going to kind of continue the discussion. We're going to be talking with the Bible scholar, Dr. Renita J. Weems and Kia Jarman. We're going to be talking with them about sisterhood. Do we know how to be sisters? Do we know how to lift each other up, how to build each other up